Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
Hi, I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends, Dedeker and Jace, teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. On this auspicious day, the two of you are here with me in Hong Kong. It is wonderful. We are sitting at a table together. I kind of feel like this is, we're going back to our origins here. Anytime we actually get to be in the same room recording together, even though I know a lot of bigger podcasts with like bigger budgets do that, the three of us don't get to do that very often.
We're far too cosmopolitan. We're shooting off to all different corners of the world.
Fine, okay. We'll say it's that reason. Yes.
I mean, to be fair, it is that reason,
That's
right?
true.
It's not that we lack the resources to buy a recording studio, even though we do, but that's not the reason.
I'm pretty sure that's part of it, though. But also because we like to travel so much.
Right, and then we live in different cities and we're all over the place.
Yeah,
but this is nice. We get to drink the same drink.
Yes. Yeah, well, please, Dedeker. So just for everyone, this is the drink that I stole from the last dozo that I was at.
This is courtesy of Disney princesses.
From the same person that I got that shoe high from. I saw this and it said, take me. And so, free dozo. And so I took it. I was like, you sure? And they're like, yeah, go for it. So
Emily's really overcompensating these days to make sure we know she's not stealing alcohol from Disney princesses.
I mean, you guys made me self-conscious. So, and all of you out there did too, made me self-conscious. Okay, what does it say? What are we drinking?
So it's an Ichiban sake, which means number one sake. My favorite part of this label is it says Jiman no Hizoko, which means basically like my favorite child, my favorite treasured child.
Yeah.
And I will say, it's a tasty sake.
It's very good. It's very good.
Yeah.
It's a little sweet, but it's
sweet,
good.
but not too sweet.
Yeah.
It's my one begotten son sake.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we're going to polish that bottle off by the end of this thing.
Most likely.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
We've done more than half and we're just starting.
Yeah, for sure. So that's fun. I saved it. I got it like a week and a half ago, but I saved it for the two of you for this very moment. So here we are.
Amazing.
Okay, so last week Jesus is getting ready to die. And Peter, Paul, Mark, who was it? Peter, Paul, and Mary. The guy with the rooster.
Peter, the guy with the rooster.
Petered out. He petered out. He was a Peter, and that rooster crowed. And he denied Jesus 3 times, and then he cried about it because he's a little bitch.
Well, I also need to point out there was the whole naked young man.
Oh, yeah.
Thing.
Yes.
Right.
Nobody
The guy
knew what the hell that was about.
As everyone was being arrested, was running away and got grabbed by his toga, slipped out of his toga naked into the woods. And we cast every Tom Cruise character at once to play the naked young man.
He was running.
Yes, because he's running
so
and he'll do that
so fast.
Okay. Imagine this. Imagine the scene, right? You're in this pivotal, crucial moment of the story, right? Where Jesus is being taken. He's just been betrayed by Judas.
Yeah.
And then,
Judas kissed him on the lips. With
lipstick. Right.
Lipstick,
yep. And then
red pecker, right?
I'm sorry.
And then this random guy is there all in the commotion, gets his toga pulled off and he's naked. And then he starts Tom Cruise running with the karate chop arms. No, check this out. Imagine the movie, right?
Okay.
And then we just continue on that for like a couple minutes of him running, jumping across rooftops.
Can you please play Flock of Seagulls, I Ran So Far Away song while this is happening?
Okay, sure.
I love that song.
Sure, but I like the idea that in the middle of this dramatic scene, we just cut away for a couple minutes of Tom Cruise doing his run.
Stupid.
Also, I guess naked.
Cool. I mean, sure, I'm here for it.
And then we cut back to like
I'd watch it.
this really tragic, intense scene. It's going to be a little bit.
I think we need that levity there. Like, we
Yeah.
need it in the middle of the
Sprinkle some
story.
jokes into the middle of the
Yeah.
crucifixion story.
You're,
That'll really balance it out.
yeah, we've always thought that.
Gosh.
You see, that's the problem with the Passion of the Christ is they went the wrong direction.
Oh, they went
They-
so hard.
We needed a comic
into-
relief character at some
Yeah,
point,
right.
and that's going to be Tom Cruise.
The irony-
Naked.
Levels-
Naked.
Levels and levels of irony here. I love it.
God. Okay.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, we've already talked about drinks. We've talked about what's happening last time. This is our last chapter of Mark, our last 2 chapters of Mark, and then we're going to do a quiz.
Yes.
And we're going to do
then-
a quiz without any help from the audience. So that's going to be a real
Yeah.
test of faith.
Good luck, everyone. Good luck to us.
I am worried about that a little bit, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll cheat a little bit.
No.
No.
We'll actually be
We're
here
gonna
to stop
be
you
here.
cheating.
Yes.
Because other
Fine,
times
I'll
we've
try not
suspected
to.
you of cheating, but
I'll
not been
try
able
not
to
to.
prove it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fine. Are we doing this?
Yes,
Yes,
let's do it.
Okay.
So today, oh wow, such cool music. Today we are finishing the book of Mark. We are reading chapters 15 and 16,
Mhm.
and then we're gonna take a week off after
Yeah.
we do our quiz
Thanksgiving.
for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It was great times, and then we're gonna pick back up again in the new year with Luke.
Yeah.
I am your father. It's gonna be great.
And the Christmas story, the actual Christmas story.
Oh,
of Luke.
good.
Yeah.
It's going to align with Christmas times.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I love that. All right. So as we get started, we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen to us while you're in the car.
But please don't do both at the same time.
And with that, it is time for Mark chapter 15. Okay. Mark 15. Immediately in the morning, the chief priests with the elders and scribes and the whole council held a consultation. And consultation. They brought some consultants
Yeah,
in
exactly.
and bound Jesus and carried him away and delivered him up to Pilate.
When did they ever say Pontius Pilate? Because I've always heard the name Pontius before
I
Pilate.
think in the last gospel we got his other name.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I don't remember.
Okay.
We'll see.
I was
Maybe
probably
we'll get
drunk.
it. Most
I was
likely.
like, yeah.
Pilate asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Do we remember who he cast as Pilate last time? We need
Let's
a new-
see. I have it pulled up. Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, oh, yeah.
I think it's
yeah.
still good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I think it's still
really
good.
good.
Wait,
Yeah.
is he like a lawyer?
Maybe he's like an official.
Okay.
He's like a
It's like a
governor.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
That's still good.
So he asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" He answered, "So you say." The chief priests accused him of many things. Pilate again asked him, "Have you no answer? See how many things they testify against you." But Jesus made no further answer, so that Pilate marveled. Now, at the feast, he used to release to them one prisoner whom they asked of him. There was one called Barabbas, bound with those who had made insurrection, men who in the insurrection had committed murder.
It's like a violent riot or something.
Violent rioter, yeah. The multitude, crying aloud, began to ask him to do as he always did for them. Pilate answered them, saying, "Do you want me to release to you the king of the Jews?" For he perceived that the envy of the chief priests had delivered him up.
Mm.
So he saw through this
He's
whole...
seeing the social politics
Yeah.
at play.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's like, "You want this guy, right? Because I can tell
Yeah.
this is some nonsense
Yeah,
going on here."
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But the chief priests stirred up the multitude that they should release Barabbas to them instead.
Wait, so they made the multitude be like, no, Barabbas is who we want.
I'm imagining all the priests put on normal people clothes and we're out in the
we're
crowd
like
being like,
plants.
"Oh,
like
we
plants.
want Barabbas!"
Yeah,
And everyone's
he's
like,
cool.
I don't know who that guy is, but okay.
Yeah, like Barabbas, he's super cool. Jesus, like that fig tree, man. Did you see that? That was messed up.
It was,
Right.
but, that was kind of the one thing.
Yeah.
And the flipping of tables, which, Did he ever actually flip tables? I know you guys said, yeah, he flipped them, but I don't remember. I don't remember any lady flip over moments.
Hold on.
No, he knocked over stools, and he
did. It says he overturned the tables.
He overturned the tables.
In
Was that in this?
In Matthew and in Mark, it said he overturned tables.
Okay, fine.
That is a clear table flip. No doubts about it.
Yes.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it happened so fast that I didn't even register it.
We don't know if he flipped them. He could have just been like,
Yeah.
just like that.
like the way you would, like if you weren't angry, be like, okay, I gotta turn this table over to get into the moving van or whatever.
Yeah.
But we all know he flipped them.
No, but that's the way that people say it to me. They're like, yeah, he came in and
Flipped over
flipped
tables.
these tables over. He was so pissed. And I'm like, really? Would he do that? Okay.
I think so.
I guess he
I
would.
think so.
I think
he
so.
might.
Come
All
on now.
Cool.
It was in his father's house.
If he could curse a fig tree to never grow fruit,
Yeah.
clearly he's
really man.
got a short fuse
Right.
at this point.
Right.
Kind of does.
Okay. So, so they planted the people in there, they stirred up the multitude that he should release Barabbas to them instead. Pilate again asked them, "What then should I do to him whom you call the King of the Jews?" They cried out again, "Crucify him!"
Okay, this is my first, I guess, realization of Pilate kind of being a very passive leader at this point. I think we talked about this last time, that he's maybe just kind of more interested in covering his own ass.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just like, I got this government salary and I don't want it to go away. And so he's like a little too scared in this situation to like actually demonstrate any kind of leadership. Because I feel like if he did, he would be like, this is ridiculous. Like, this is a sham. Like, I'm going to let this guy go, but he's probably too scared of the mob, right?
Well, that's the
just
thing.
Like cancel culture.
Who is this mob of which, because the multitude the whole freaking time has been on Jesus' side.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, sure, a multitude. This is probably a different multitude.
Okay.
Or the priests have done a really good smear campaign, and they've turned the
Off-screen that we haven't seen?
Off-screen,
right, off-screen.
Okay.
Well, because they've been kind of in the background for several episodes now, right?
Yeah,
Where it's like they'd come up and try to trick him with questions and stuff. So
and
like,
he's like, I'm smarter than you are.
right.
Yeah.
But they were behind the scenes, maybe plotting this stuff.
Dickies.
Exactly.
Being dippies.
Exactly.
I
You
said
got it.
dickies.
Oh, Dickies. Okay,
Yes,
that
yes,
too.
You got it.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that Jesus, it was polarizing.
Well,
in
yeah.
his time,
I mean,
right?
for sure.
So, like, even though there's a multitude following him, there's probably maybe an equally large or maybe larger multitude that's
Maybe.
like, this guy is a...
we don't hear about
A real
that
freak.
multitude much,
Yeah.
but sure. Yeah.
I mean, he spoke out so clearly against the Pharisees and the Sadducees, or at least the head priests.
So maybe those people are like, nah.
No.
Right, like whoever was into them and the way they were doing things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really, it's funny to think that in 2,000 years, not a lot has changed.
Seriously.
Where politicians can
By
feel like,
funny-
I
This
can't-
is what I say.
By funny,
like,
do you mean
all the
depressing?
time.
I do
Do you
mean
mean
depressing.
depressing?
That's
Okay.
right.
Even
That's
people who are
yeah.
like people who are older than me, I'm always like, wait a minute, you are, stirring shit up like I used to do in high school. It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the politics
Yeah.
are the same no matter how old you are or
Mhm.
how long it's been.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's why I've always really liked that song in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Which one?
Pilot's song.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like,
It's a great song.
it's like one of the few times you get to see Pilate portrayed in kind of a sympathetic way.
Yeah.
Like, still, he didn't take a stand. He still let this happen, even though he kind of knew it was wrong and didn't
yeah.
want to. But he just kind of was like, well, I don't
Yeah.
feel like I have the power to stop it, so I'm gonna let it happen. But at least it shows that there could be some conflict there, which I think we're seeing here.
Mhm.
But I remember growing up, that was never the way he was portrayed.
Of course.
Really?
Yeah, like the
Oh,
fact
really?
that Pilate is mentioned by name in a lot of the like Easter time
Mhm.
scriptures and stuff is as this like, why do we need to name specifically this guy? Is he that important that like we need to
Hmm.
clarify,
Mhm.
that he was sentenced to death by Pontius Pilate? Like, is that really that important? But I guess it is. And so I always thought of him more as a bad guy.
Oh, because I always thought he was portrayed as like, he could see that this was silly, right?
I mean, clearly that's the actual portrayal.
Yes, yeah. So I think that my upbringing, he was always portrayed a little bit sympathetic.
Okay.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
Interesting.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So he asked, what should I do with this guy? And they cried out, crucify him. And again, that's probably the plants. That's the priests out there. Pilate said to them, why? What evil has he done? But they cried out exceedingly, crucify him, crucify him, crucify him. I'm imagining cool sound effects there, right?
Yeah.
Pilate, wishing to please the multitude, released Barabbas to them and handed over Jesus, when he had flogged him to be crucified. The soldiers led him away within the court, which is the praetorium.
What?
It's the praetorium.
Cool.
That's an important detail, I guess. And they called together the whole cohort. They clothed him with purple, and weaving a crown of thorns, they put it on him. They began to salute him. Hail, King of the Jews! They struck his head with a reed and spat on him, and bowing their knees, did homage to him.
Bowing their knees? Like they got on their knees?
Yeah, like mockingly.
It's like they're mocking
I
the
see.
whole King
him
of
as
the
a
Jews
king.
thing.
Yeah.
When they had mocked him, they took the purple off of him and put his own garments on them. They led him out to crucify him.
I thought that he had to carry his cross.
I think we'll get to that.
Oh.
Yeah.
They compelled one passing by, coming from the country, Simon of Cyrene.
Different Simon?
Different Simon
This of Cyrene.
of Cyrene.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why can't they name these characters different names?
He was the father of Alexander and Rufus.
Oh, Alex
Those
and
guys.
Rufus.
Yeah.
Great guys.
We all
I
know
remember
those
them.
guys. Yeah.
No, I don't.
To go with them that he might bear his cross. So they recruit this random guy
Oh,
to carry Jesus' cross.
okay.
Yeah. They brought him to the place called Golgotha, which is, being interpreted, the place of a skull. Okay. The place of a skull. They offered him wine mixed with myrrh to drink, but he didn't take it.
That's the icky yucky.
Icky yucky, or it could
Or
have been
a painkiller.
a painkiller.
Oh.
Yeah. I was told both versions growing up that depending on which grade I was in, sometimes some teachers would say, oh yeah, it was always meant to be icky yucky. This is more embarrassing and torturing this prisoner, or they're trying to offer a painkiller to make it a little bit less torturous.
Yeah.
But he was like, nah.
Yeah.
Right. Crucifying him, they parted his garments among them, casting lots on them, what each should take.
They parted his garments. What does that mean?
They split up his...
Oh, the clothes that he had.
Yes.
Yeah, and then cast lots to take off
Say
his clothes.
who would take it. Yeah.
And that's the end of my section. I'm going to pass it off to Emily to
okay.
read
His death.
The death.
Great.
If
Okay.
you know you
Yeah,
love
we
that.
could really use a comic relief character right now,
Some
Yeah.
more Tom Cruise.
Poor Tom Cruise comes running by
That
in the
would be good.
background.
He comes running back through the frame real quick as a little throwback,
So wait, he's streaking this crucifixion.
Yeah.
First he was running away, now he's streaking the
Got it.
crucifixion.
God.
Okay.
So sacrilegious.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I know. My friend the two people that are very religious whose home I went to in Saikong the other week, the lovely young woman was like, I've never listened to your podcast, but I really want to listen to Drunk Bible Study. And I was like, maybe you don't have to ever. Maybe you don't have to ever, because I'm worried that I'm going to offend the heck out of you.
Yeah.
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 That might be rough.
It is. Isn't that weird and funny or depressing that we've made a show where when people tell us they're going to listen to it,
We're
my first reaction is oh, maybe don't though. I just don't know about that.
I don't know. If you are more of a heathen, or you have been religious at one point, but now we're not, I feel yes, go nuts.
or if
Listen
you
to it.
are religious, I know some of you in the chat
Yes.
are, and you have a sense of humor.
Yes,
Right.
Bring your friends.
that's
Great.
fine too.
Right. And I
Yes.
think that's why when we ask people to tell their friends about it is so important, because
Tell your friends who are like you.
right, 'cause
Chill.
we assume that your friends are similar enough to you
Yes.
to at least have some sense of humor, at least tolerate a little irreverence, regardless of what they believe or what you believe.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
The lovely bass that I've sung with for years, I would never ever want him to listen to this show.
He's
Because
too
he's
Christian.
too fervent.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
I'm
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
It was the third hour, 9 a.m., and they crucified him. The superscription of his accusation was written over him, the King of the Jews. So that's what they're charging him for. That's what they're crucifying him for being the King of the Jews, for saying that he is.
Well, it is funny.
He didn't ever say that he was.
Well, because Pilate tried to ask, like, what has he done wrong? And they
And they're
wouldn't
like,
say anything. And so he's just like, I
guess
gotta
it's
fill in
this.
something on the form.
Yeah.
So,
And he's like, I said this, not this guy, but whatever. Here we
Yeah.
are.
Right. Yeah.
With him, they crucified two robbers, one on his right hand and one on his left. So,
And we didn't get this in the last gospel.
yes, but I remember it in Passion of the Christ.
Yeah.
And I thought that like two ravens like ate their eyes out. It was really gross. I think that was like a
remember that
Mel
part.
Gibson editorialization,
Sure,
but
sure.
that definitely happened.
Yeah,
And I was like,
I
ew.
blocked that out for sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happened unless I just made that up.
I don't think that's biblical.
No, probably
we'll see.
not.
We will find out.
Okay, so the scripture was fulfilled, which says he was numbered with transgressors. Those who passed by blasphemed him, wagging their heads, saying, "Ha, you who destroyed the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself and come down from the cross." Oh, they're basically saying, like, you can get yourself out of this, which, to be fair, he probably could, but he's not going to.
Yeah.
Right.
Likewise, also the chief priests mocking among themselves with the scribes said, "He saved others, he can't save himself. Let the Christ, the King of Israel, now come down from the cross that we may see and believe him." Those who were crucified with him insulted him.
Oh, them too?
Wow.
Hmm.
Maybe that's why they got their
I
eyes
mean,
plucked out.
stressful situation.
Yeah.
But why do they have to, like, dunk on him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never remembered that detail.
Right. We do need to get Emily to watch Life of Brian, because I always just like to imagine the more positive version where they all sing a song together,
Right.
which is what happens in that
And then
movie.
die?
Maybe we could watch it while we're here together.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cute.
In bunkers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love
maybe.
that.
If not, then we can probably watch it when I'm in Tokyo with you guys.
That
Right.
too.
Yeah. At the 9th hour, when the 6th hour or noon had come, there was darkness over the whole land until the 9th hour. So they had some sort of eclipse.
That's cool.
I think that
A
that
3-hour
happened.
eclipse.
I guess that's kind of
Jeez.
crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe it just got really cloudy.
Yeah, so it said, so noon until 3 p.m. At the 9th hour, Jesus cried with a loud voice saying, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani." Is that which is being interpreted, my God, why have you forsaken me?" Yes. Some of those who stood by when they heard it said, "Behold, he is calling Elijah." Like that guy Elijah?
Like that guy Elijah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but also God?
Apparently Elijah.
Okay. One ran and, filling a sponge full of vinegar, put it on a reed and gave it to him to drink, saying, "Let him be. Let's see whether Elijah comes to take him down."
So again, I think this would be the same question of sponge soaked in sour wine. Is this also to like try to alleviate his pain?
Yeah.
Or is this also some kind
Just
of
like-
insult?
Yeah.
I also just realized a sponge soaked in this. In my mind, it's always one of those big yellow like floor cleaning
Oh,
sponges.
for sure. That's
But,
what
like,
I
I'm
had
like,
in my
wait,
head just there.
That's not a thing they
It's
would
going to be an actual sponge.
Yeah, like a
sponge.
like a sea sponge.
a sea
which-
sponge.
Yeah, they have those in Australia. They're pretty cool.
I wonder though, I'm wondering about the imagery of this. I'm sure I'm not the first person to make this connection, because also at this time, like a sponge on a stick would be like toilet paper.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, that's what you would use
Ew.
in like
Oh.
Roman public toilets.
Oh,
That's what you use, is a sponge on a stick to
Wait,
clean
wait,
up.
why was it on a stick?
yeah.
Because someone else would scrub you off?
I don't know. I never thought that far about
Huh.
the stick portion.
That's gross.
Mhm.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm imagining right
okay,
now.
but
right now.
what's gross? Which is grosser? Sponge on a
Hmm.
stick or nothing at all?
Oh, sorry. What? No,
to clean
I'm,
yourself.
no, sorry. I'm now thinking about them feeding Jesus with this.
Yeah.
That there's that added dynamic.
Yeah.
And what I'm imagining right now is that in the chat, John Dolph is posting.
Yeah,
some-
John. Like John Doe,
original
for
in the
sure.
original Latin, they used this word, which actually means this thing. And so I really look forward to watching the episode.
So first of all, you better be here, John Dolph, and second of all, you better educate us about this whole sponge
about
situation.
this sponge stick thing.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's see whether Elijah comes to take him down. Jesus cried out with a loud voice and gave up the spirit. So, okay, I think he's dead now.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember if he like yelled before he died in Passion of the Christ, but I don't remember.
He must have, because I think that's in every gospel that he does some kind of "My God, why have you forsaken me?"
I
That's
remember
like
that.
Yeah.
That means the final yell. That's
the final yelp.
Oh, he yawped.
He yawped.
Okay,
yeah,
he yawped over the rooftops of the world. I see. Okay.
Yeah. The veil of the temple was torn in two from the top to the bottom. When the centurion who stood by opposite him saw that, he cried out like this and breathed his last and said, "Truly, this man was the Son of God."
So I feel like we need to talk about this veil thing. Because did we get that in any previous gospel about the veil being torn?
I mean, we've only read one so far.
I think get that.
I think that something got torn.
Yeah.
I mean, by torn, I mean like broken or cracked or something.
So
I think that happened.
How this was always explained to me or interpreted to me.
Please.
Was so it refers to in the temple that there's this veil that hangs between where the Ark of the Covenant would be, where the Holy of Holies would be. Yeah. So that's where only the priests can enter. Like no one else can enter. It's supposed to be like the seat of where God resides, right? And so there's this symbolism of the veil is torn, right? So now that Christ has been sacrificed, there's this like direct contact with God. That was how it was interpreted for me.
That seems very evangelical and not very Catholic.
For sure.
Yes. Well, not very Catholic, very evangelical though.
What?
I mean, really, you don't think that Catholics would have said a similar thing?
Well, because you still need like the
still,
Pope and all
Catholics still love the middleman.
Yeah, all the middle is.
Maybe the idea is that the middleman can now contact God.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, it's not just like Jeebus or no one. Also, I love that like the Ark of the Covenant is still this like thing that is. It's not even there right now, right?
It's already been stolen by the Nazis at this point.
Wait, the Nazis existed back then?
Yeah, surprise, surprise. The Nazis have been around.
Okay.
The proto-Nazis.
Yeah.
The proto-Nazis.
No, it disappeared before this and we don't know where.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
But sorry,
yes.
I'm just thinking about this thing because yes, that was always the explanation, right? Was that it tears and so now there's no middleman there, or just that it's this like dramatic sign.
Sure.
But I was also thinking, like, that's supposed to be where God lives.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait.
That's Yahweh's house, is inside the
temple, the synagogue.
Right? Remember when he was the cloud of fire? And
I know, but like I always thought that like it was just like a fake house. It was a house for people to go to worship him, but like his real house was the sky.
I mean, sure. We don't quite know, but I'm just saying, if we imagine that's where he was, and like way back in Moses, that's where he would like peek out of the curtain and be like, hey Moses, one more thing.
Wrapped around his waist.
Could you do something for me real quick?
Do you think that
Yes?
Do you think that God is like super cut?
I mean, I think The Rock is super cut. So.
No, I just asked this because, sorry, we saw The Lion King yesterday, and these guys like took off their shirts and they were really cut.
Ripped, yeah.
The fire twirlers.
Guys, yes, I remember those guys.
Boy,
yeah.
So I thought maybe.
Well, that's a question, and I know we've talked about God's body, God's physical form many times, but like, if we look at what is it on the Sistine Chapel, the pointy.
Oh, the pointies.
What's that called? The creation of man.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds right.
Oh yeah, the like.
I'm just the creation of Adam. I'm just trying to look at how ripped God is in this photo.
He's like old but ripped.
He's old but ripped. I mean, he has a cloak, not a cloak, like a dress on.
He
does
like
a toga?
No, it's a dress. No, it's like a muumuu.
It's a shift. God has a muumuu on, but he looks ripped for sure.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look at his shoulders, right?
Everyone's going.
Oh yeah,
he got biceps.
He's beefy.
Biceps
Definitely.
and triceps. And,
Definitely.
Yeah.
So the whole point I was trying to make here is that he rips the curtain because when everyone's sad, they rip their clothing. And so maybe it was actually just him being upset. But either way, this centurion who's standing there sees that happened at the same moment because I guess it's within view. I guess.
But wait, this guy,
centurion.
it says that he cried out and breathed his last, so the centurion also died?
Maybe, what? No. Was the centurion commenting on the darkness that happened?
No, I think he was commenting on the ripping of the
saw that he cried out like this and breathed his
Hold on,
last.
okay, yada.
Yeah, so he's talking about Jesus.
When the centurion who stood by opposite him saw that he cried out like this and breathed his last.
Talking about Jesus, said, truly,
so it's
this
more
was
the
the Son of God.
I don't know, he's having a moment seeing Jesus die.
Okay. And so he's just like, oh my gosh. Totally was him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Whatever.
Sure.
Okay. This is important because it's literally like, I don't know how Mary Magdalene gets spoken about. She doesn't get talked about except for right here, basically.
In this gospel, yes.
And in the last one.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't get a lot of last time.
We didn't get a lot of Mary Mags, no.
There were also women watching from afar, among whom were both Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, the less of Joseph, and Salome, who, when he was in Galilee, followed him and saved him, and many other women who came up to be with him to Jerusalem. So we don't even know that this Mary, this other Mary, is his mom, because I don't think that we even talked about Mary, because like he all of a sudden was like 30 years old, like in this gospel.
You're right. This gospel skipped over the whole nativity thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James.
Well, James and of Joseph, they've been name dropped before as his brothers.
Okay, so we just have to like
her as his mom.
Realize that she's the mom?
Yeah. Which I don't know why you would go watch this as a mom, but
right. I mean, they were watching from a
maybe
distance.
you would really want to. I don't know.
Like, how could you not? Right? It's like that. I can't not.
Yeah.
It is.
It's really horrifying.
Super awful, actually. Yeah.
And Mary Magdalene, who I don't know how to love him.
But this Salome character, this is the first time that we've gotten this name drop of this other woman.
I guess that's Salome. Is Salome like
not the same Salome? It just says that when.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But it says that she.
That would be random.
Yeah.
Also, Salome was at Jesus' death.
She says she followed him and served him. So, like, she could have been another disciple. She could have been a female disciple that got scrubbed from the record.
Was Mary Magdalene a female disciple?
That's the other argument, right? That there's also, I don't know, he had a lot of followers, right? It's just these particular 12 dudes were the special ones.
Because they were dudes.
Because they were dudes.
But, like, these women could have been way more faithful.
They could have been way cooler.
Yeah. Well, obviously, they probably were.
Well, I mean, that's why at some point, maybe as a bonus, we could read the Gospel of Mary. Could be interesting.
Is it of Magdalene or of Mary
Magdalene?
Did you know?
It's Mary. I don't know how to love him.
Do we have actually any text?
I think there is some text from it. Yeah, it's like been kind of reconstructed, and we've had to guess at some of it, I guess.
Okay.
But we have other things. Like we could read that. We could read the Gospel of Thomas, I think is the other one. And we could also read the book by, I think, Neil Gaiman, who is the
Okay, this is getting into the far down
it's like the life and times of Biff, Jesus' childhood friend.
Yes, yeah.
Is that Neil Gaiman? I forget.
I don't know if we're gonna do that. Okay. So many other women who came up with him to Jerusalem. When evening had now come, because it was the preparation day, that is the day before Sabbath, Joseph of Arimathea, a prominent council member who also himself was looking for the kingdom of God, came. So that's not the Joseph?
No.
I guess different Joseph.
Different Joseph. This is the one of Arimathea.
God. Okay. So, yeah. He boldly went into Pilate and asked for Jesus' body. Pilate marveled if he were already dead, and summoning the centurion, he asked him whether he had been dead long. When he found out from the centurion, he granted the body to Joseph. He brought a linen cloth and, taking him down, wound him in the linen cloth and laid him in a tomb which had been cut out of a rock. He rolled a stone against the door of the tomb. Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of Joseph, saw where he was laid.
So this is interesting because in the last gospel, wasn't it that like the Roman government was like, we're going to put a stone and guards in front of the
Yeah.
tomb to make sure that his disciples can't come steal him in the
Yeah.
night and claim that. But here it was that
This other
Joseph
guy.
Arimathea put the stone in front of
Yeah.
the tomb. I
Yeah.
wonder what defendinganheresy.com has to say about that.
Oh,
Maybe I'll look that up on our break.
on our break.
Sure.
Hey, speaking of
Oh,
which,
yeah.
we're going to take a quick break to refill our drinks, and so that you all can go tell your friends. As we mentioned, we're scared to tell people about this show because they might disown us and hate us forever.
Yeah.
But you
Go
Are-
nuts.
have like a degree of separation
It's
from
true.
So,
You're not
so
the
like,
people actually making it.
right. So if you're nervous about it, you can be like, oh my gosh, there's this crazy show called Drunk Bible
It's so
Study. I don't
good.
know what I feel about it. You should check it out and tell me. And then it kind of isolates you. It protects you a little bit from the consequences. Or if you know that you have a friend who will be into it, just tell them about it, right? Tell them so that they can check out the show. We can get more listeners and not lose any more friends over it. Actually, that hasn't happened. Knock on wood.
Not yet.
That has not happened. I have not actually had any terrible I have not
Consequences.
not had any terrible consequences come from people listening to this show yet. Knock on wood that will not happen. But anyway, we would love for you to tell your friends, and also check out the live shows. I mean, it's weird for me to say that on this one that is not technically a live show, but we do these live shows every week normally, and they're a ton of fun. We love getting to interact with all of you in the chat, and it makes the show so much more fun to do, really. Like our decision to start doing live shows during the
This is
early
a good
days of
one.
the pandemic was like the best thing we ever did.
Yeah.
It's been fantastic. We really appreciate having you here, and we would love for you to join if you're not already here in the live shows.
Yeah.
And then, of course, if you want to support this show and go the extra mile to make sure that we can keep doing this and maybe someday buy that recording studio,
Yeah.
join us on Patreon
That would
at
be cool.
patreon.com/Drunk Bible Study. And there, as a thank you for being a parishioner and a supporter of the show, we have things like early releases of episodes, personal toasts on the show, Emily's drink recipes. I mean, this week, not much. It's just the sake, but you know.
While I'm here, it's hard to do a full
Right.
drink recipe situation, but we get to have fun Asian cocktail or like drinky
Drinks,
wickies.
drinky
Drinky
winkies,
winkies,
yeah.
indeed. Yes. So thank you all so much for telling your friends and bringing more people to the show.
And we're back. Hello again. Welcome back to Hong Kong.
Welcome back to Hong Kong. I wish you could see out my window right now. Maybe we'll have to like turn the camera around at some point so that they can see what we're
construction.
viewing. Just what we're viewing, because generally there's just like a crane whizzing by, and sometimes I'm just like, is that going to hit something? I don't know. I'm worried about it.
The
I'm
crane
worried
is
for
like
you.
right there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's close.
Yeah.
It's close. So,
I don't know that I've ever seen a crane this close up.
right?
Like
That's what
from
I'm saying.
because the
Well, and it's just
like
very
the-
high up. We're on the 21st floor,
right.
and
Kinda
it's
like
right
On the
there.
same level as the guy operating the crane.
Seriously,
Exactly.
that's
That's
what I'm
the thing I've
saying.
never seen
It's just a
before.
little
I
unnerving.
should flash him.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't think he can see anything in here.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
We all
Let's
know
get
what
back.
Dedeker's
Let's get back
priorities
to
are.
reading the Bible.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, the last chapter of Mark.
Wow.
Here we are.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark, chapter 16. When the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James, and Salome bought spices that they might come and anoint him. Very early
Are
on,
they going to rub spices on him?
I guess.
They're going to throw spices
That
on
is
him?
weird. It's like a body that's been dead for 3 days. And I guess it's been wrapped in linen, but still, probably not a very pleasant.
No.
To be honest, I don't know how much a body becomes unpleasant in just 3 days.
Pretty unpleasant.
I
is
think
my
it
understanding.
does. I think once, it starts decomposing. Have you ever left like meat out for like a day? Like I
Yes,
haven't,
but not meat with skin on it that's still inside of the skin.
My understanding,
Okay.
3 days is,
It's rough. Okay. All right.
it's,
Sure.
it's not great.
Not great.
You don't want to put it in your stir fry, to use the whole meat analogy.
Gross.
Very early on, the first day of the week, they came to the tomb when the sun had risen. They were saying among themselves, "Who will roll away the stone from the door of the tomb for us?" We didn't think about this ahead of time for
right?
some
I
reason.
really should have thought of that.
For it was very big. Looking up, they saw that the stone was rolled back.
Oh, cool.
Entering into the tomb, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, dressed in a white robe.
Is this the same guy?
As what?
The Running Man. Is this Tom Cruise?
Oh my
He
god.
found his robe again.
That's the reveal that he's been the angel all along.
Wait, is this an angel?
I think that's usually how it was taught to me, at least. Well, let's see.
The phrasing is different. Some gospels say angel, some gospels say just this young man or this youth clothed in white.
Yes.
And they were amazed. He said to them, "Don't be amazed. I'm just a guy.
Don't worry about me.
I'm just Tom Cruise. You seek Jesus, the Nazarene, who's been crucified. He has risen. He's not here. Behold, the place where they laid him. But go, tell his disciples and Peter."
We don't call him a disciple anymore.
Yeah, he lost that privilege after he rejected
After the
him 3
crow.
times.
I mean, even Judas is still a freaking disciple. Jeez.
But
Well,
go.
he's already dead. He hanged himself.
We didn't get that in
We
this
didn't get
story.
that.
Oh,
They
you're
didn't
right.
say
Not in
that.
this gospel.
I'm like,
Right.
he did because I wouldn't know it from if I had only read Mark.
Right.
But go,
Right.
tell his disciples and Peter, he goes before you into Galilee. There you will see him, as he said to you. They went out and fled from the tomb, for trembling and astonishment had come on them.
Yeah. No kidding.
They said nothing to anyone, for they were afraid. Now, when he had risen early on the first day of the week, he appeared first to Mary Magdalene,
Oh.
from whom he had cast out 7 demons.
Whoa.
Whoa, wait.
Wait,
I
I
pulled, like-
don't know how to love him.
Pulled like 7 demons out of that chick.
What? I don't remember that happening at all.
Neither do I.
Dang.
Wow.
Like, what was in her?
Wow.
Now, the fact that he appeared to her first, that is compelling that maybe they were an item.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Perhaps.
for sure.
Yeah.
She went and told those who had been with him as they mourned and wept. When they heard that he was alive and had been seen by her, they disbelieved. After these things, he was revealed in another form. What is like, is like a turtle,
what?
as
Yeah,
a bear?
What
Is
does
it?
that even mean?
In another form to 2 of them as they walked on their way into the country. They went away and told to the rest. They didn't believe them either.
Hmm.
Afterward, he was revealed to the 11 themselves as they sat at the table.
Wait,
And
Because
minus Judas.
is no more.
Yeah,
then nobody says that. In
nobody
Mark.
said it,
No one said
but
it. But I guess even if
What
we
if it
did-
was like 11 and Peter?
that would be interesting, yeah. No, but I mean, even if he didn't kill himself, though, we would imagine the rest
That
of
he's
them
like,
probably
nah.
wouldn't still invite him to dinner.
probably not.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Afterward, he was revealed to the 11 themselves as they sat at the table, and he rebuked them for their unbelief and hardness of heart because they didn't believe those who had seen him after he had risen. He
Mm.
said to them, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to the whole creation. He who believes and is baptized will be saved, but he who disbelieves will be condemned."
Can I read to you the Tyndale
Yes,
version
please.
of this? Verse 15. And he said unto them, Go ye
What?
into goo. That's
No.
Goo. Go ye into all the worldy, and preach ye the glad tidings to all creatures. He that believeth, that's sorry, BELEUETH. Believe. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, but he that believeth not shall be dampened.
Dampened?
What is dampened?
Dampened?
Dampened.
Dampened?
Dampened. He'll get wet.
Ugh.
So it's DAMP. Damp. NED. Dampened.
Dampened.
Dampened. Yes. Yes.
These signs will accompany those who believe. In my name, they will cast out demons. They will speak with new languages.
Wait, is this Jesus?
This is Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
They will
Resurrection Jesus.
they will take up serpents,
Whoa.
and if they drink any deadly thing, it will in no way hurt them.
Whoa, I did not remember that power.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cool. Wait, are we reading this so no
thing will hurt us.
Yeah. I mean, we've been baptized.
But we have to believe. That's a missing piece for me anyway.
Shoot. Yeah.
Whoops.
That's cool, though, for the people that do believe.
But
Yeah.
like I'm like reading it,
But you're not believing it.
but I'm
Do you believe that you're reading it?
I believe that I have read it.
There you go. You can drink deadly things, it shall not hurt thee.
Well,
They will lay hands on the sick and they will recover. So then the Lord Jesus, after he had spoken to them, was received up into heaven and sat down at the right hand of God.
hey God.
So they went out and preached everywhere, the Lord working with them and confirming the word by the signs that followed. Amen.
Wow. We've done it.
We did it. 2 gospels down. We're through half of the gospels.
Sweet.
2 gospies.
2 whole gospies.
2 waspies.
2 gospy waspies.
Okay. All right. Before this gets too out of hand. Yeah, Emily, let's close this out and then let's go do a quiz for the bonus.
Okay. I'm going to close this out. Thank you for joining us here in this room together for Drunk Bible Study today. If you want to join the audience in our live stream shows, follow us on Twitch at Drunk Bible Study or go to drunkbiblestudy.com/live. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including early releases, cocktail recipes, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/Drunk Bible Study. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe, write us a nice review on iTunes, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group or on our Discord server at discord.drunkbiblestudy.com. Follow us on Twitter, X at Drunk Biblecast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jason Lindgren, Dedeker Winston, and me, Emily Matlack. Our theme song is book led by Josh Nonnen from their album Home of Da Da Da. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
About your dad. He's in a book club. Whoa. He's got a history of skimming past all the pages of ageless confessional.